since humanity mastered the skills of throwing stones and boiling water. It has essentially conquered the flat space of Earth. However, few venture into numerical space. Why do those with a high school degree know that shooting things into the sky is not easy? Because one must overcome gravity. In the realm of cultivation, gravity is an ancient force. It firmly traps humanity on Earth. So to leave Earth, one must consult with the mighty. But who are they? They are the terrifying, upright beings of 300,000 years. They are the tough warriors who have ventured through water and fire. They have braved the 7 continents and explored the heavens. In this numerical space of Earth, they naturally want to explore it. Indeed. April 24th is China Aerospace Day. From the successful launch of the Dongfeng 1 satellite on April 24, 1970, to the launches of Tianwen-1 and the Mengtian experimental module. Although their space station was fully completed only 52 years later. This represents a unique romanticism in their aerospace endeavors. They can be a little proud. Though progress is rapid, the hardships endured along the way are well understood. Aerospace is different from aviation. Activities within the atmosphere are referred to as aviation, while activities beyond the atmosphere are termed aerospace. It's quite simple. To what extent is it simple? It's said that as early as 1970, the USSR's MiG-25 was developed. Rounding up, it was essentially a stainless steel frame with radar and rocket engines. This design was simple. With excess water, the course design could fly at 3 Mach at 30,000 feet. But once it comes to leaving the atmosphere for space, it's different. The difficulty increases sharply. As is well known, to launch a spacecraft, one must overcome Earth's gravity. To avoid being pulled down, one needs to achieve at least the first cosmic speed, 7.9 kilometers per second. To completely escape Earth's gravity, one needs the second cosmic speed of 11.2 kilometers per second. And to truly leave the Earth's gravity, to reach the stars, one must achieve the third cosmic speed of 16.7 kilometers per second. These 3 speeds should be firmly remembered. They will be useful in the future. All of humanity's fireworks are as naive as a rookie in the face of these 3 iron laws of aerospace. Currently, the mainstream method of reaching space remains chemical rockets. It has been previously mentioned that chemical rockets are quite inadequate. 90% of their weight consists of fuel and oxidizers. Effective payload is minimal. It's like a small horse pulling a large cart, thus, the acceleration of chemical rockets is overwhelming. Experiencing 9 Gs on a rocket is like riding a rocket with 9 Gs. Only astronauts with exceptional physiques can endure it. If the acceleration increases further, even E. coli would be separated from its cell wall. Ordinary people would need military training. If ordinary people cannot access space on a large scale, who will build future space cities, spaceports, and interstellar warships? When will the Chinese science fiction seen in movies like The Wandering Earth become a reality? At this stage, experiencing that kind of Chinese science fiction in space may only be achievable through games. A quick search reveals that in the newly released Mars biomap of CFHD, safety first is a common slogan. If there were a Mars base, these slogans would surely reflect the efforts of a certain Eastern superpower. Additionally, Mechson spaceships easily evoke thoughts of the Shiha. 1 Tian and Meng Tian are real spacecraft. However, from a realistic perspective, building a Mars base hinges on finding a way ordinary people can endure. It can no longer rely on primitive propulsion systems like rockets. So, are there more efficient methods? Yes, there are. In science fiction, there is the concept of a planetary cannon. A tunnel that runs through the Earth, evacuated to vacuum, where one jumps in from one end, adding a strong magnetic field in the latter half of the tunnel, and wrapping the spacecraft in an electrified coil. Could use electromagnetic force to counteract gravity, thus launching from the other end. One could achieve low cosmic speed and enter space. Moreover, the acceleration in the first half would only be 1 g, with uniform motion in the latter half. Ordinary people could endure this. However, this method is more theoretical than practical. As often mentioned, going up to the heavens is easier than going down to the earth. If the earth is compared to an egg, humans have yet to even break the shell, let alone drill through the earth. Moreover, what if a Skull Island creature were to be dug up? What then? Another method is the familiar space elevator. The advantages of a space elevator are numerous. Firstly, it's safe and comfortable. Ordinary people could reach space. Secondly, it can transport large-scale engineering materials and personnel. However, it has one major drawback. It cannot be built. The material aspect is a significant barrier, and there isn't enough energy density to power the elevator. Perhaps it will require controlled nuclear fusion to change that. Of course, there is theoretically a third-body approach. This refers to the space battleships commonly seen in many science fiction works. They not only carry many passengers, but can even achieve space jumps. Space jumps are a divine means of advanced civilizations. It cannot be realized in reality. It's just a thought. But there is no need to worry about the Dragon at the CFHD Mars base. When it was time to slip away, it accidentally triggered the weapon's simplified view state. It watched as the gun in hand transformed into a starship. The battleship was surrounded by ancient Chinese architectural designs. A small seal script energy aura appeared, along with the gun body. It was adorned with energy patterns of winding lights. It gave off a strong sense of Chinese sci-fi. The other two mythic level sets can also transform into different battleship forms in simplified view. The Battle Pass series skins likely adopted Chinese sci-fi as a design concept. One of the guns features blue and white colors. In simplified view, it resembles a satellite flying into space, projecting a hologram. The White Horse gun, in terms of overall shape and effects, also recreated the scene of a rocket launch. Of course, all of the above is limited by materials science and energy science. Currently, these materials and energy cannot be realized. Solving one of these will lead to the next era. Solving both will elevate civilization to a higher level. Perhaps by then, humanity's journey into the stars can truly set sail.